Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to In the Scope. And it's finally here, the 20th of January, which means you know what time it is. We have the release, finally, of Rainbow Six Extraction. So I couldn't wait to jump in there. And so I just jumped in. This is going to be like a first impression. Because I started off, of course, doing the tutorial, the VR training. So we got that playing for you, and we're gonna kind of go through it and just give a little bit of first impression before we really, start covering really what this game has to offer. Because I mean, the training just barely scratched the surface. So we're gonna definitely jump in there and see what we got now that Rainbow Six Extraction is finally live. All right, so you start off, you can do this VR training, which, I mean, I always do the tutorial first just because, you might as well. Saves time on trying to figure shit out later. So we start off with this VR training, and it seems like Mira kind of runs the tech side for the entire team. So they kind of do a little bit of explaining with this the VR training, which is basically simulation training, and they explain how it allows you to basically train without the dangers of real life situations, and it's state of the art, cutting edge, like all Rainbow Six shit should be. So we've got Mira, and she's talking to Thermite, and she's basically just explaining, hey, this is our VR training, it's cutting edge. Thermite's like, that's awesome. When do I get to do it? And I like the banter between them. Like, this is a side of Rainbow Six Siege that you never really get to see, is like how they actually interact with each other. So that's kind of cool, because you have this team from different backgrounds, and then now they're in here like actually just like interacting in a non-combat situation. So it's kind of cool. It's nice to see that. So Mira's talking to Thermite about the what they went through in that little I forgot what it was called, but it's that thing that Rainbow Six Siege did, that like special event where they had like the alien extraction type gameplay, and she's kind of basically saying like, this is how we're going to be ready for the next time it happens. And so she kind of fucks with Thermite a little bit about when he's going to get to go in, and then we go into the VR training. So that's what we started off with, and as you can see here, so we've got the it's going to start on the Liberty Island VR training, and this is the three subzones that we talked about in the last video. So we have the cafe, the museum, the warehouse. You have three objectives: biopsy, nest tracking, and MIA operator. So three objectives, and then you're gonna you can choose to move to the next one, or you can choose to extract. So that's kind of what this VR training is gonna kind of teach you about. And so I played through this VR training twice because the first time I kind of fucked up a little bit, because I mean, that's why we do training, right? So it's not that bad, but I fucked up just a little bit starting out with the objectives on biopsy, and then I pretty sure I extracted before I actually secured the operator, so then I wanted to play through again. So here we go. For the VR training, you have character select. You have Doc, Ela, and Pulse. And of course, I wanted to start with Doc because, that's the kind of guy I am. So I was like, all right, we'll start with Doc. You can see their speed, their armor, HP. And so, they did mention that you're going to want to let your operators rest up in between. So it's like to recover HP, I guess. So that's kind of crazy that it like keeps track of that. So we go into Doc's loadout here, and I love how you can just spin the guns around and you can like take a look at them. Of course, we start with his shotgun, which is, like I said in the other video, I just want his MP5. So I was like, okay, shotgun, fine. But does he have the MP5? Oh, you bet your ass he does. So I was like, all right, cool. He's got the MP5. I want it. That's nice. He's got his P90, and then he's got this HK417 semi-auto rifle. So, and again, I love here, you have the stats. It's very Rainbow Six Siege-like with the stats and then the recoil pattern. So you can get a good feel for damage, how the gun's going to behave when you hold the trigger down, mobility, and then, how much ammo you can carry. But of course, we'll start with the shotgun, and then you can even, of course, change the sights or the foregrip on this one. I ended up going with the red dot, but even this whole the menu, the UI looks very Rainbow Six Siege so it felt very familiar whenever I was in there. It looks to me a lot better than Siege does as far as graphics and just the presentation of it. It looks a little cleaner, little better. But I mean, it's way newer than Siege, so it better look better. And then, so I was going through it. I was going to do my pistol next, and then I realized, like right now, that there's actually a timer counting down, and I was like, oh shit, I'm out of time, and did not get to further customize on this first run. So just so you know, when you get in there, there's a timer counting down whenever you're selecting your loadout and shit. So, all right. All right, so we got Thermite doing some voiceover here, kind of just getting us ready for the mission, how that's going to go and everything, moving from zone to zone. They're setting up containment areas, and then that's when you have like these airlocks that go between the areas, and that's kind of like progressing to the next subzone. And whenever, and after you do that, there's no going back. So when you choose to go on instead of extracting, that's like a final decision. No going back for ammo, medkits, nothing like that, or to even finish objectives or anything like that. It's like whatever you get done before you move on is what you get done. Whatever you don't is what you don't. So it's a one-way door. But you know, it's still, I like the concept of when you're ready, you can go through. And I like that you can't go back because it really raises the stakes. And then you'll see the third part of this, whenever you're rescuing the operator, that's kind of how it is as far as whenever you go down, is you have to like basically repeat that same mission, that same section with like and they'll give you a special like MI operator mission. So you have to go back and get your operator if you want to keep your stuff. And if you don't, you end up losing your progression with that person. So it's definitely worth it to go back and get anybody that you don't extract, and you know, anybody that doesn't get one of their operators out, it's worth it. All right, so loaded into the first area here, and they little tooltips, of course, are going to pop up. They kind of tell you about the enemy types right now. When they see or hear you, they become more aggressive. And then when a nest is there, it's going to basically spawn these aliens every so often out of these nests until you take care of the nest. So loaded in, first thing I noticed was the sensitivity was really low. So I turned it up just a little bit on the vertical and horizontal because it felt super slow. So definitely you'll probably, if you play these games at all, you'll want to, and I typically play on a lower ish sensitivity than like a lot of my friends. So I didn't want to crank it up too high, but definitely you're going to have to kick that sensitivity up because the default is low as hell. You're going to be feeling like you're barely moving, trying to turn around. And I didn't know how fast the aliens were going to be coming at me. And I'm like, nah, we're going to need to kick this up because, you know, if you have to track them across the screen, you're going to end up, you know, getting fucking meleeed all day long trying to keep up with these things if they're that fast. Fortunately, in this tutorial and this VR training, they're not very fast. They're not difficult at all. So it really wasn't a problem. Once you get in there, you'll see they really toned down the difficulty for this VR training, which is, I mean, that's understandable because the whole point is to learn what you're doing, and you shouldn't be constantly having trouble doing that. So I put it up to 30 and 20, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to go way higher because even that felt a little slow, but I felt it was okay to start with. All right, so this is where you can extract. It tells you how much XP you have banked, so feel free. Of course, you can Y switch weapons. And then of course you have your drone, which, you know, felt very Rainbow Six Siege like, and I was like, cool, drones are back. That's awesome. And it feels just like Siege as far as, you know, droning around. If you've played Siege, you know exactly what you're doing here. The only difference is, as you can see, there's a battery meter on that drone. And so, after the battery goes down, then your drone goes on cooldown. You can use it again. As far as I can tell, they're unlimited. It's just you have a certain amount of time per usage. But if you stop using it and pick it up, then you can do that too. But if you do take it all the way down to the battery being done, then it's just drone destroyed. And then you're on I think like a 15-second cooldown or 20 seconds. Let's see. Oh, like a 30-second cooldown. All right, so, and then, you know, you'll get your drone back, no problem. The ping system's there, just like Siege. So you start off, you head out, you have these yellow doors everywhere. They're just handprint scanners, so all of them can be opened. That's just me trying to get the controls down. Right bumper for your special ability. In this case, it's Doc's healing gun. And then, yep, so you have these doors. There's vents everywhere too, just like in Siege, so you can take your drone through to get into, to get into areas that, before you open a door, if you want to get in there and see what's going on. And so this purple light that's on this shotgun, it's on all the guns actually, and I thought it'd be like more of an ability thing, but I guess it's for everybody. So that'll actually let you see aliens through walls whenever you get close enough. And especially a destroyable wall, so you can just go ahead and shoot them, through the destructible environment. And so it appears that that's going to be on just all operators. And like I said, I thought it'd be more of an ability thing, but I guess everyone's going to be able to have some sort of detection of the Archons through the walls to some degree. So I didn't know really what to expect, so I was taking it kind of slow, not knowing how many aliens or how quickly they were going to throw them at you or whatever. So I was like, all right, let's take it slow. So there's our first refill. You have ammunition refill there. Ammunition, med kits, ability recharges, and React Tech are all what you can find. React Tech is whatever you have in your, like it's my left bumper there. So it's like whatever item you have. It starts off at default as smoke grenades. Which actually do really well against them as far as confusing them. They really don't know what to do. So when you have your drone, you can, of course, hold Y to scan. It'll give the highlighting around the enemies, which you can see through walls and everything. So very much like Siege. And we're going to try and be sneaky here. We're going to get this motherfucker, but we're going to try an execution takedown. And so you hold the right stick in, get the execution. Very nice. See, and that's where I fucked up with the objective, because I didn't do that. And then he kind of surprised me a little bit, so we had to shoot him. I wasn't expecting that. And then there you go, like picking up your drone so you can use it again. No problem there. But like I was saying about the smoke grenade is, it was actually very useful. It was actually one of the little mini objectives too. Like you don't have to complete them. They're just kind of like little side quests, was to use it on so many Archons. So there are little side quests you're not have to, but you can do too, just for, different rewards. I think, some cosmetics and XP and things like that. All right. So moving on, and like I said, I did not realize that I'd be able to see through walls, but nice to know. It's nice to know. All right, so still taking it slow, just it was scary in there by yourself, aliens every fucking where, what was gonna pop out, how this game was gonna work. So I like how there's little pre-made holes everywhere, so you can really get in there with your drone and just kind of scope things out. I love how tactical this game is going to be. It's all about the preparation as much as the execution, and that's really awesome. That's separates it from just your typical run and gun zombie alien type game. So, and it looks really good to me. This game, it really does look good. I wasn't sure of like the graphic quality and how it was going to look, but I was kind of surprised. So there's some React Tech in a little case there that you can pick up, and it seems that they're just placed throughout, but also they're going to be at the end too. And this is letting you know you can perform takedowns whenever they're unalerted if you crouch and sneak up behind them. And that's what they wanted me to do. I'd actually already did it and I didn't even realize. But so that's what they wanted me to do on this specimen for the first mission, was to collect from that thing, this elite spiker. And yeah, I was just like, fuck, I'm going to kill him. And then so they wanted me to throw the smoke grenade. I did. And they really can't see you in the smoke grenade, so it's really nice. And that's where I should have done it right there. But instead, I was just knifing him because you have to be crouched to sneak up behind him. So whenever I do my second playthrough of this, I actually do that a little better. Sneak up behind him, and then you stick the syringe in him, you extract what you need, and then you complete that part. So that was the difference there. So I kind of fucked up there, but it's all right because, I went back in. I got mine. All right, so we're going to keep going through here. Let me get my drone. There we go. And then Like I said, you can refill your tech. You can definitely, you start off with 3, but you can go up. I think I went as high as 11 smoke grenades. So if you just keep picking them up and you're not using them, doesn't seem to be, you're not capped at whatever you start with. And health is going to be kind of crazy in here. So as you can see, during your incursions, lost health cannot be restored, only boosted. So you start with 100 health, you can boost up your health, and that's what like Doc does with his gun. He can boost your health, or you can boost your health by just getting med kits, but it's temporary. So it does degrade over time. So you can see, picking up that health kit, I'm at 200 total health now, 100 temp health and 100 regular health. So it's that regular health that I believe you have to let them rebuild or like recharge in between missions. So there is a time factor as far as using the same operator to go in mission after mission, it would seem. But you can see that temp health does degrade pretty slow, in my opinion. I mean, I've had it for, let's see, I'm at 97 now. So it looks like it's maybe one tick every maybe 10 seconds you lose a health point. So that temp health can last a while for sure. But it's definitely interesting that you can't really gain health. Like, you can't gain base health in this game. That's definitely going to be something that makes the harder difficulties that much harder. So I zoned out a little, or scouted out a little bit, found these 2 aliens who were just chilling in this corner being best friends. And I wanted to try and see kind of how the smoke worked a little bit more. As you can see, they immediately has an effect on them, and they can't see you for shit. Like, you just walk right up to them, they have no idea. So the smoke is a lot more useful than I thought it would be. And that really makes me think that the abilities that you smoke, like Capitao, is going to be pretty useful too, especially because it seems you have a limited amount of react tech anyway. So that'll be nice. Just wanted to throw up a barricade just to see what that looked like, and surprise, it looks like a barricade. So there you go, barricading windows. That's how we roll, for no reason. You never know when you're going to need a barricaded window. Shit happens. So I'm going to keep going, moving around this place. Just like kind of checking things out. Definitely enjoying the first little playthrough here of this VR training. And then, so there's another health kit. And you see, just boost you right back up to 100. All right, so failed the first objective. So here I'm at the end. And of course, and there's the react tech, which puts me at 7. So you can choose to go through the airlock to go to the next subzone, or you can go back to where that little icon is, that where I started, that 57 meters, where it has that little helicopter icon. That is the extraction. So right now I could go and extract and be totally done with it, or I could keep going, which of course we're going to keep going. We never extract early. That's craziness. So being that I had an ability deal there, I kind of just wanted to pop this off and see kind of how it goes. So of course, with Doc there, you get 3 shots with the healing gun there. You can heal yourself like I just did. Ranged healing, it can get people up, and then you have this ability recharge boxes also. So whenever you go to the next subzone, you go through one of these airlocks, and every one I went through had med kits, and it had ability and react tech in there. So it does look like you're going to be able to stock up in between subzones. Now, that's probably going to be less available to you on harder difficulties, but at least the VR training, I would assume the easiest difficulty, is going to kind of stock you up before you go to the next subzone when you go through the airlock. So you go through, your timer restarts. So this area, you have 15 minutes. They give you the tooltip, nest or dormant. That's what you're looking for. 3 nests right now. And then whenever the Archons become alerted, they kind of scream out, which wakes up the nest, and it triggers them to start producing more and more of the more and more ads. So the key is definitely to not let them get woken up, and then if they do, take them down as quickly as possible. But you're not going to really want to take them down here because you're supposed to track them. So that's going to require an interaction when you get close to them, because you can't just shoot them to actually destroy them, but that's not what you're looking to do here. So if you press the back button, it brings up the map where you can see alive, KO'd operators, your extraction point, airlock, and any objectives that are already marked. And it brings you up on what stage of the subzones you're in. So right now we're in the museum, and like I said, it gives you 15 minutes. We're at 14:20. We have, if you look in the top, we have that little red icon above the time. That means we failed the first subzone because I just killed the guy. And so we're on the second one, and we are going to do this one right. Okay. Redemption time. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to start off zoning around because, that's the kind of rainbow player I am. I need to know what's out there. And whenever you kind of look at one of the nests, it kind of pings it for you. So it tells me there's one tracked up there. And that's actually where all three of them are, which I will find out after I zone around and try and figure out what the hell this place has in store for me. So again, run out of battery, drone's destroyed, got that 30-second cooldown on it. All right. So also, when you bring up that menu, it also displays your score. So it's a good menu to just kind of gives you a quick little, here's the map, here's where you are in the big picture, basically. So that way it looked like there was some scary shit over there. So I wasn't going that way. I'm playing solo, you got to have that solo mentality. You got to be ready to not have backup. And that's what I'm ready for right now, is not having any fucking backup. So I tend to drone a lot more. But when I go through the second time, I'm just like, okay, I know what to expect now. I know what kind of game this is. So we have one Archaon up there with these two nests. So no problem there. And then, so I'm going to get ready to take care of business. And then somehow a third fucking or a second Archon comes out of nowhere, and I'm just surprised the shit out of me, because I'm just like droning, and then I turn around and he's like right there, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is how they're gonna do this shit and be sneaky and everything. So it's like, I'm gonna be sneaky too. We're going to do this. And so, like I said, the nests, they're not going to do anything as long as they're not alerted. So you can get close to them. And that's what I wasn't sure about. I was like, if I get close to them, is that going to make them start pumping out fucking aliens? But no, you can get as close to them as you want to. It's all good. As long as the Archons that are around them don't alert them, then you're cool. So he went around the corner. I was like, all right, I'm going to take care of this shit now. And that's another thing. I was like, okay, let me do this stealth, because I didn't know if you shot too close to them, if that would alert them. But as you can see right there, it does not. So it seems to be the way they're going to get alerted is just by other Archons. So that's where it's just explaining moving through the sprawl, which is produced by these nests, as you can see on the ground around them, slows you down, and it doesn't do anything to the aliens, so you're at a disadvantage if you're trying to fight in that shit. So I definitely recommend not fighting in it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So you're, like I said, you're tracking them, you're not really destroying them. So you just go up, you interact with them, plant the tracker, and it wants you to hit 3. And then there's an ability refill there, and if you're at capacity, it won't even let you pick it up or anything like that. And then there's the third one. No aliens. All right, so all 3 are tracked, so that's why our mission switched to green for this second subzone. So we completed it, and we were successful. And now, of course, we have the option of extract, which is the little picture there, that little extraction machine, or we can go on to the next subzone, and you know how we do. We going on to the next subzone. So never extract early. Extracting early's for bitches. So we go to the next subzone, or make our way there. And it's not like when you complete the objective, it's just over. Like, you're still in a hostile area. So even going to the extraction is still going to be, you can still die. Even though you complete the objective in the area, you can still die just trying to make it to the extraction or trying to make it to the airlock. So don't let your guard down just because you complete the objective like it's all good and everything's going to despawn, because that is definitely not the case. The shit is still out there. All right, so just take down some of these nests for funsy. Get my health boosted up. And then, so in this area, oh, see, he was hiding in the corner. That sneaky son of a bitch. All right, almost missed that. All right, so we're gonna keep going here, trying to make our way to this airlock, and we got one over there. Headshot just takes him out right away, which is very Rainbow Six like. I like how familiar this game feels. It feels familiar and different all at the same time, and I like that. I enjoy it. It makes me feel like I've been here before, but you don't know what to expect either. So this is where I was showing right there. As you can see them through the walls, and that was, like I said, not expected because I didn't realize it was going to be just on the gun, like a light on the gun. But it was nice. It was nice. It's like I had an extra ability that I didn't even ask for, but it's not the ability I asked for, but it's the ability I deserved. So there you go. All right, and then as you can see, the aliens, they're aggressive. Once they see you, they definitely come after you, but they're not difficult at all. I mean, this is just the tutorial, so it's not very hard at all. And I wanted him to hit me so I could see how much damage he did, and it was a good chunk in those 2 swipes. I mean, I was overhealed by almost 100 health, and he pretty much took off all of that. So I could definitely see, a few, enough hits, especially if you got surrounded by them, enough hits and your ass is going to go down. And, obviously, like I said, I don't have backup right now, so I'm not going down. Not going to happen. So let's take care of that with a shot, take care of that guy, get our react tech, and then we have made it to the airlock. All right, so on to the third and final subzone. And I love how they get harder. This is, it's just so far. I enjoy. I mean, I know it's just a tutorial and we're just now scratching the surface, but I really enjoy it. And as you can see, you got your refills of your the med kits, the react gear, and your ammunition. So they're kind of getting you ready for the next area. Let you replenish whatever you lost, including munitions too. So that's nice. And like I say, it's not gonna be like that every time, especially as the harder difficulties get up there, but it will, it's nice for now, so why not? Might as well. So I healed myself up a little bit, getting ready to go into this new area, refill the ammo, and then we are off. So 15 minutes again on the timer. MIA operator. So so if you don't actually make it to the extraction or finish it, you will be MIA. And this is what that essentially looks like. Is in the next incursion will be you have to get them, you have to rescue them to add them back to your roster. So if you don't make it out, you lose them as an operator. It's not just like, it's high stakes to me. You actually lose the ability to choose them until you rescue them. So it's very important to make it out. Not only are you risking your progression with that character, you're risking just not even being able to use that character, especially if you have a really leveled up character that doesn't make it out and that's like your main or something. Oh shit, you got to go back and get him because I mean that's your shit. That's everything. The one good thing is if you do max out a character and then you end up like he goes down, you don't get him out in time, then you don't lose your progression with max rank characters. They're protected against basically losing experience because you don't get them rescued. So once you get them max, at least there's that where you can't fall down, you can't fall back from that. So that's good. It'd be really shitty to have a max rank character and then suddenly you don't because, they went down and you weren't able to get them out in time. So that's nice. That's nice. But until you get them to max rank, there is no safeguard. So anybody that's below can drop even further if you don't get them out in time. All right, they're just going to give the tooltip on reinforced walls, which if you play Siege, you know all about the destroying the walls and the reinforcing of the walls. Nearby enemies through walls, which we talked about. So I've got some aliens on the roof here. So let's go ahead and take them down. And you can see those little pings are all the ones that were alerted by the sound of you shooting. So, and then the footsteps. So you can kind of know when you've alerted other aliens. So that's a nice little thing with the UI that, you don't have to wonder, be like, oh, am I silenced? Or did they hear that? You're going to know whether they heard it or not and whether they're reacting to it. So it's just more information to help you to help you know what's going on, make the best decisions. And it adds to the immersion to me, because you're like, because that they are aware of your presence, so you can act accordingly. But makes for better gameplay, in my opinion. So, as you can see through the destroyable walls there, you can see the aliens. Only works through what you can shoot through, basically. So through doors and stuff, you're not gonna be able to see them, but through these walls and stuff, you can. Taking them out like that makes everyone feel like Pulse to me, but it's nice. And speaking of Pulse, I played Pulse for the second walkthrough, and I don't know about his ability. I don't know how I like it. And I don't know why I thought it'd be different, because I read it and I still thought it would be different. Like I basically called their description of visibility a goddamn lie, because I read it and was like, nope, it's going to work a different way. And it did not. They were telling the truth. So I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So, still looking for the, my fallen comrade, which should be around here somewhere. I know that there is an alien in there, and there he comes, and he is dead, so sucks to be him. Got some med kits there, and then let's see, just check and make sure you can just shut all the doors that are open, just in case, for later missions when you want to set up defenses, reinforce, shut doors, all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming the aliens can't open doors, but they are an advanced species, so who knows? Maybe they have figured out the complicated task of opening a door. I hope not, though, for our sake. So we're going to keep going. And I was kind of just looking around for any kind of like lore or any like intel or anything like that, any collectibles basically. I didn't think that there would be any necessarily in this VR mission tutorial, but if there were some in the game, I was definitely, keeping my eye out for them. So we're going to keep going, looking for our guy here. And let's drone a little bit, see what we can see. And bingo, there he is. So that is our MI operator, and we're gonna definitely see what's the best way to approach to handle him. See, I noticed that the sprawl was kind of everywhere around him, and it seems that that's the way it's gonna be around those like tree deals that like they're trapped in. So I was seeing if there was a sprawl that wasn't, if it wasn't completely surrounding him, just for, a better way in. Cause, first time I didn't know what to expect, what kind of like enemies that were going to be guarding him or whatnot. So definitely looking for a better way in. And it looks to be sprawled like pretty much on every side. So I was like, okay, all right, there's not a good way in. So time to just go ahead and do this regardless, good way or not. Go and handle this. So now I find the little mini game involved in rescuing people is kind of cool. I can see where if you've got enemies around you too, it would get kind of hectic. It would be fun though, because it's not just go up to them, interact, and you break them out. It's almost like a little mini game that you have to play to get them free. So I can definitely see how it's going to be interesting to get them out and get them free and stuff. Especially, like I said, if there's shit running at you from all sides and your team's trying to defend you while you're trying to free, your fallen guy, it can be pretty hectic, especially if you have that mission in the third subzone, like when we're in now, when you have the hardest difficulty, or whenever you do like a Maelstrom event, whenever you're doing the end game, it can get pretty difficult. So as you can see, my movement is immediately slowed walking through this stuff, through this sprawl. Just immediately, you're just moving at half speed. So that would be terrible to fight in this. But if you shoot it, it gets rid of it. And that is the wonderful thing. So it kind of helps out. I would suggest maybe having a suppressor before you make all this noise that I'm making. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. So you interact to pull the operator, and then when you try to pull them, the Archaeon tree, it consumes its energy to pull them back in. And so it's like fighting back. And to regain energy, it produces these cells, and these cells travel from these anchor points back to the tree. And so you have to try and shoot these cells before they make it to the tree. And while you're doing this, you have to make sure the tree doesn't reabsorb the person you're trying to rescue. And then you can also, whenever they open up to produce these, that's when you can shoot the anchor points, which is going to be what you want to do to get rid of the little lines. So as you can see, the meter of the MIA person is moving to the left towards the red, and you don't want it to get all the way to the red. So here comes some of that energy on those cells coming. You want to shoot those. And now since it just released, it's opened up, and then you can shoot the anchors. But you got to keep an eye on that little icon because you don't want it to get all the way to the left. So you got to keep pulling, and then it takes a minute to reverse direction. So you got to think about that too. And you see when the anchor's closed, you can't do anything to it. You have to wait till it opens up. It's open now, about to release a cell. I take it out, and then just in time, start pulling my buddy out. And you can freely look around while you're doing this to see if there's any more energy coming from any anchored wall points, or if there's any enemies running up on you. And you just keep coming, and eventually when you get to the end, you get them free. You put them on your shoulder. And like I said, I enjoy that little game there. It's not just come and interact with it. It's it's multitasking while trying to watch out for enemies. So it can be, I can see it getting very hectic. But that's why we play the game. So we're going to keep moving, and I just wanted to see what happens when you drop them. So when you have the guy on your shoulder, you can only use your secondary, of course. You can't use your react tech, you can't use your drone, and you can't use your abilities. So all you've got is your pistol, but you can freely drop him if shit gets crazy and you need to fix it. So here's where I fucked up also. So this is the extraction point, and on the right there is the little thing to extract, and also where you put the body in. And I just went right up to the extraction thing and I said extract. Didn't even put my buddy in the little case or anything. Yeah. And so I kind of fucked up there. But hey, you live and learn. So now I know I extracted successfully, but I failed 2 of the objectives, but I learned a lesson, and that's what it's about. All right, so that's kind of where we are there. And of course, this is VR training, so you don't actually progress in rank or anything. So that's why I didn't go up past level 1. That and the fact that I missed 2 objectives probably, but nonetheless, we're not going to count that. So I decided to, so if you go to the VR training studies, it's, just kind of like what percentage you are through. And as you can see, I did the first lesson, I did the incursion protocol, but the use react tech use the smoke on like 5 enemies, I think. And I did not do that. So, and you can see the rewards over there, new entry, some XP, things like that. So it's basically you for completing these little mini objectives, you get XP and you get lore. Definitely worth doing. I wouldn't risk a mission for it. Oh, cosmetics too. So wouldn't risk a mission for it or anything, but it's definitely, might as well get everything you can out of it. So if you can remember to do those side objectives, also make sure you do those. So I decided, though, that we would go back in and do it one more time with Pulse, so I can maybe make sure I got got everything right this time. So hopefully this time I do a little bit better with Pulse and getting the objectives done. Also wanted to try out Pulse's his heartbeat scanner to see how that goes in this kind of game. And so I'm still itching to play Sledge, though, and that's what matters. I got to get my Sledge going. I want to hit one of these things with a sledgehammer. All right, so going back to Liberty Island, doing the same subzone, same objectives. I ran a lot faster this time because I kind of knew what to expect, and it wasn't such a surprise. But we're going to start off by picking Pulse this time. And let's see, those are the mini objectives. And then, so we're going to pick Pulse. Maybe I should have picked Ella. Oh, well, Pulse it was. All right, and remember you have a timer here, so don't get too comfortable looking around. Only thing unlocked was his shotgun, unfortunately, but I do like that he had suppressors on his pistol, so that was nice. And then definitely just wanted to see what this heartbeat scanner was going to be like. And then of course, when you're looking at the weapons, you can see the bullet spread and everything like that. Recon drone and, like I said, the smoke are by default. You have to unlock more React tech, which we'll do at the end of this video. See some of the options and what the first one that I chose was, and we'll see how it goes. So, loading back into Liberty Island here as Pulse this time. All right, so got the shotgun, got the pistol. Mira's gonna give us her powerful speech here as she gets us going. So, now this is the thing with Pulse is I'm used to Siege, and I thought Pulse was gonna be detecting bad guys, but he doesn't detect bad guys. Well, not all bad guys. So I was like, okay, I know this guy's in here. I should be detecting him, right? You know, I'm detecting heartbeats. No, not the case. So Pulse doesn't actually detect aliens, like live running around aliens. And I was like, well, this is not what I wanted from Pulse. So I'm walking along and I see the guy and I'm like, okay, he's over here. I should get a heartbeat, right? No, nothing. Not a single fucking heartbeat. And I'm like, okay, this ability is not what I want it to be. It's not working. I don't like this. This isn't what I wanted. I'm going to keep trying though. Like, I am relentless. Like, I want to detect this motherfucker's heartbeat so bad. And still just nothing. And I was like, well, maybe you have to be that much closer. Maybe it has to be a destroyable environment, you know, or a wall. I was like, come on, there's got to be a reason. And it just turns out that it just doesn't do this in this game. And so, like, I'm not happy with it, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not saying he won't be useful, but Pulse is not going to be my favorite if he can't even pick up on bad guys. So we have this elite spiker, though. We're going to do it the right way this time. After I check one more time to make sure he doesn't have a heartbeat. And then we're going to actually get the sample we need this time. So, and we just do our takedown, and there we go. Now, that's how I should have did it the first time, but didn't know, live and learn. Here we go, back at it. All right, so first objective is complete, and I remembered that there was these two bromance aliens over here in the corner, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I didn't pick up the heartbeat because he's a special enemy or something like that. Maybe on a regular enemy, I'll get the heartbeat. And I still didn't get the heartbeat. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, fuck Pulse. Like, fuck this heartbeat scanner. It's working about as well for me as it does in Siege right now. And like I said in the last video, I want to be good with Pulse, but I'm not. And it looks like this game is going to be no exception. Pulse just isn't for me. But that's okay, because I'm sure there are some Pulse mains out there that are going to thoroughly enjoy this. But I had to even look. At this point, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Detects VIPs, MIAs, and nests. So the only thing it's going to detect is people and missing comrades that you came back for, and then the nest. So the nest part's kind of nice. I mean, it's okay. But I mean, come on, like, that's... I don't know. That doesn't seem worth it to me. It just doesn't seem worth it. Just to detect those three things. Maybe higher level, harder difficulty stuff, it might be worth it. But so far, especially in this VR training, I'm like, this is not impressive at all. But I mean, I should reserve my judgment for higher level content, I guess, to really see how they're gonna do. But so far, Pulse not impressing me. I did enjoy Doc though, FYI. Pretty cool so far. So I'm going to do the second sub-zone here where we have to scan for the nests. And I was like, okay, now this is an area he might be nice. Now I already knew where the nests were, obviously, so it wasn't so it wasn't very useful. But as you can see, it did pick up the nest. Maybe it just picked it up a second ago. But it does pick up the nest through the walls and stuff. But I really wish it picked up the enemies because, like, okay, so there's the nest. And it did pick it up, and there's the second one. So, I mean, and there's the third one. So, I mean, it's kind of nice, but is it really worth it? I don't know, considering there's enemies up there that aren't being pinged at all, So it's like, it's nice to know that there's a nest up there, but it would be nicer to know what the fuck's going to kill me when I go up there to go after the nest. But that, they did not show. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they thought it would just be too OP if it did. Maybe it would interfere. Maybe it would take too much away from like Lion and his ability. So they were just trying to make him very different, trying to tool it so he's not, he's not over tooled for it, maybe, I guess. But to me, it left something to be desired. But hey, I keep judging Pulse. I got to stop fucking judging Pulse. All right, Pulse, I'm not judging you anymore. Like, you get a pass until we see how you do in in-game content. So for right now, you get a pass. I'm not going to judge you anymore. I'm going to try not to. All right, Pulse is amazing. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, Pulse. Let's see what you got here. So, all right, we're going to move through. We're going to get to the next airlock so we can get on to the final subzone there. Ooh, a little achievement. Kill 5 different enemies in a single incursion. All right. That's how we started off. Now, I needed to smoke a couple more just for that little objective, so I got him, and then I thought it got him too, but I wasn't paying attention where it said 4 out of 5. So that was unfortunate, but I stabbed him in the neck regardless because, that's how we roll. All right, so let's take down some of these things here. Use a nest. And then let's keep moving, get to this subzone, or get to the airlock so we can get to the next subzone. We can do the rescue part. All right. Couple knives there to kill that guy. And I do like how the nests are randomly generated. They're not in the same spot. Even in the VR mission, they're not in the same spot. So that's nice. Everything adds to the replayability, and that's what I'm big on is, you gotta replay it. You gotta replay this fucking game, and they gotta make it worth it. If it ain't worth it, I ain't doing it. So that's cool that they've at least kind of randomized that aspect of enemies and enemy spawn locations and stuff. It just, makes it that much better to play through a second, third, fourth time. And in a game like this where you got to grind shit up, you're going to be played through it many, many times. All right, so we're into the third subzone. Got the MI operator going on. I decided to just start, making some noise. And as you can see, it's spawning. You alerts the nest, start spawning enemies. And so just go ahead and take those nests out so that shit quits, calm that shit down right away. A few more enemies are going to come, but, like I said, this is pretty easy being the VR training in the tutorial, so it's not bad at all. And hey, I'm like I said, second time is a charm. I'm actually going to extract appropriately this time, and I'm going to save my buddy. That's how I go. That's what we do here. We save lives. And we kill aliens. Not necessarily in that order. So we'll see. All right. Moving on through. See, there was a guy in there last time, and I thought there'd be this time, but there wasn't. And that's that randomness. You just don't know. You don't know where these motherfuckers are going to be hiding. So you gotta head on a swivel. Head on a swivel through this entire damn thing. All right. So let's see. Looking for some. Oh, I wanted to see if it would pick up the MIA guy. So to see like what kind of range his heartbeat scanner had, and it did not pick him up at this range. So we'll see when I get a little closer if I can pick up the guy we're here to rescue. So we got extraction that way, and still even at this range, it's not picking him up, which I can't judge Pulse though. Maybe his batteries are low. It's hard to say. So it's not Pulse's fault though. So it gets about right there. That's how far away it is. I guess that's decent range. Maybe on a bigger map that's not. I don't know. I'm trying to make it better for Pulse. Maybe it's decent range. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how he does in the end game. So again, you cannot shoot those anchor points until they open up. And he's got 2 on the left there. So we're going to start the little mini game here. Looking around, waiting for him to open up. Send some cells, and there's one there. So we're going to take care of that. and then it closed like right away, which was crazy because I thought it stayed open longer than that, but it opened back up, and that's my chance. Got that one, and let me take care of that one too. Perfect. And then I see there's that third one that was sneaky. It was behind it, see? Didn't see that one at first. They almost got me. These crafty bastards almost got me, but no. And I knew it was going to be releasing another cell soon, so I was like, all right, well, let me just get ready to shoot this cell. And I did get the cell, but then it closed on me, and I was like, well, screw it. I just got the cell. We're going to just go ahead and pull him out, and I'll get it before, he sends another cell to the tree. So, and it looked like it did work out. All right, so got the operator. Making our way to extraction. Gonna hopefully do it right this time, maybe. Save a life. Let's find out. All right. The first guy, yeah, he died, though. That was sad. But this guy, I have faith this guy's gonna make it. So, all right, we get to the extraction, and I learned my lesson. And I went to the actual little pod instead of the control panel on the left. And I said, I'm not going to do it. I act like I'm going to do it, but that's for dramatic effect. I'm actually just going to secure the operator here. So you put him inside, and that will rescue him for you to allow you to add him back to your roster and all that good stuff. And then we extract. So that is how you actually do that for future reference. All right. So that is the first little VR mission there. And then we're just going to take a look at the menu real quick. Kind of what the rest of the menus look like, and see what our options are. So this is where you would gain experience, of course, but you're not going to do that because, it's just VR training. So no leveling up. So we go over to the right and we hit continue this time, which we will do after I see that I still am missing one smoked alien, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is our main mission here, or our main menu. We have play, which has the little story missions that you move through. Each, milestone 4, 7, and 11, you unlock a new area with new subzones. Those are the assignments at milestone 13 that we talked about. So those will be, and they're, like I said, they're ready to go. And so is the Maelstrom Protocol, all in game, ready to go. Already part of the game, as you can see, is just locked behind levels. So it's all about how fast you want to reach those milestones. All right. So then we go to our operator roster. And like I said, when they fall behind enemy lines, they become missing in action, no longer available for deployment. You have to complete a rescue mission in the same map where you lost them to get them back. And if you fail the rescue attempt, then you get them back, but you lose some of their advancement. And that's what I was talking about. If you fail to rescue them, then you still get them back. I mean, they're not going to hold them forever away from you, but you lose progress on them. So it's really worth it to get them back. And then if you have them at max level, then you don't have to worry about losing. If you fail to get them back, you don't have to worry about losing that advancement. So that's nice. All the way up to level cap, which not sure what level cap is quite yet. So these are the operators that they let you start with. We have Doc and Ella, Pulse, and then we go Alibi, Finca, Habana. Oh, here he comes. Lion, my boy Sledge, Vigil. And then we have IQs locked. And these seem to be a locked milestone 5, IQ, Jaeger, Rook, and then Fuse, Smoke, and Tachanka are all milestone 10 with Capital, and at 17 with Gridlock and Nomad. So they'll be the last ones that you unlock. So starting off though, you've got 9 to start with, so that's pretty good. That you should definitely find somebody in those 9 that you like before you get, more of them unlocked. So pick one of the 9. I'm going with Sledge. I can't wait to get in there and get some missions done. I just want to hit an alien with a damn sledgehammer. Am I wrong for that? I'm not. That's what you should want. That's what everybody should fucking want to do, is hit an alien with a sledgehammer. It's not me. It's, if you don't want to do it, that's you guys. It's not me. It's on you guys. All right. So, Ash is doing a little voiceover here, kind of explaining, the more we do our research missions and get objectives done, the more React tech we'll get. We have state-of-the-art equipment, and everything we do, all the reconning, all the samples and everything we take is making it better for the new operators coming in. As you can see there on the little graphic, they don't really name anybody coming in yet, except for Zofia was on there, we saw in the last video, but I'm sure they've got plenty more operators ready to come in and join the React team. All right, so as you operators gain more expertise, you achieve new development milestones. Each milestone can unlock hot zones, tech, and cosmetics. So this is some of the progression. As you can see going through, you can see the rewards in the top right. Operator advancement and studies move you through these things. You get different milestones and you get different rewards, whether it be tech, cosmetics. You can see some of it's purple, blue, which I'm assuming is rarity, and it goes all the way to 30. So that is the kind of the progression track there of how you're going to be moving through it. And then next we will take a look at the tech. And this was a really cool little cutscene too, because Mira, like I said, seems to be really the one running like the tech side of it. And here she is trying to like put together a little grenade or a bomb weapon there. And I really just enjoyed the interaction between the characters now. And then she's like, "Idiot, move, you're in my light." And it's Ash. And I was like, okay, all right, Ash, not one of my favorite characters, but you seem to be kind of running some shit here, so good for you, woman in power and all that. So we get to see a nice little interaction. She explains how the answer to some of the React tech is coming from the data that they're getting from out there in the field. So they're kind of using alien physiology and biochemistry to make their weapons and everything better. So that's going to be pretty cool. So they have their little conversation, and Mira and Ash. And if you look at the way Mira looks at Ash when she walks away here, I think Mira's got a little crush on Ash. Look at this glance here. Look at that. That's more than friends there. That's more than friends. So a little bit of love, I think, is in the air in the lab there. So as you get more XP, you earn more React tech, and then you unlock. So this is kind of the unlock progression as we go. So the first choices was this impact grenade, shockwave that knocks back aliens, 7-meter area. You can carry 4. And then we have body armor. So whenever you have body armor, you always go down but not out, and it reduces incoming damage by 20%. And then we have a scan mine, scans in a 6-meter area, Archeons in short range. And then we have a revive kit, which is basically like Doc's, like a shot from Doc. So you can get up if you go down but not out. You can revive yourself 1 time. So like all those sound pretty useful in different situations. I kind of thought about the revive kit, but I went ahead and went with the body armor just because I like the incoming damage reduction. And I mean, yes, you lose. It's a one-time use. So once you go down and you would have gone, out, you'd lose it, but it's nice to have that damage reduction. I'm a big fan of taking less damage throughout. So, survivability in my opinion. So that's the one that I went with. And then we have the Codex, which is just going to be like your lore, everything on the aliens and everything you've discovered so far as you progress through the story of the game. And then we have the shop, of course. And the first thing that caught my eye was this Wrangler, like elite outfit, like, in Siege for Pulse. I was disappointed that it was for Pulse. I was like, damn it, I'm not going to buy this because it's for Pulse. But I was kind of digging it. And you can buy just like the head or just like the clothes, or you can buy the entire bundle for them too. And I was kind of digging it. I was like, that's kind of cool, but so it was for Pulse, and I was like, not gonna be something I do, at least not right away. So they almost had my money. But not today. But that's where we that's the first impression, our little VR training walkthrough of Rainbow Six. Oh yeah, one other thing. So whenever you do go into play though, you can start off by doing quick play, which is just going to find a squad for you, matchmaking, and put you in there. Which is kind of nice that there's matchmaking, so if you don't have people you want to play with, just get put in with people. So, matchmaking is always good unless you get matched with some total shitheads. But if you don't, then hopefully, you get matched with some good people. And then you can actually select a hot zone that you want to deploy to solo or with your squad. So you don't have to play with matchmaking. You can play by yourself. But if you do want some people, there's the option to matchmake if you don't have any friends online or whatnot, and you still want to play with the group. So there's some flexibility in how you want to play, which is kind of nice. But yeah, there you go. That is our first impression. Like I said, we barely scratched the surface, so we have a lot more playing to do. We're gonna get into the. I'm gonna squad up with my buddies, and we're gonna get in and see how difficult it really is whenever you're not in training, because that's what I really want to know. All right, so there it is. Walk through first impressions of Rainbow Six Extraction. Thanks again for joining us on In the Scope, and stay tuned for a lot more Rainbow Six Extraction videos as we dig deep and unbox this game and see what it has to offer. And yeah, thanks everyone who subscribed and watching the videos and the views and everything. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying making these videos. I'm having a lot of fun, to be honest. I'm having a real lot of fun. So yeah, if you enjoy it, feel free to subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thanks. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I love the comments and everything. It's really cool. Like the people that are like, just, you're making good videos. Keep it up. I really appreciate that stuff. So you guys have a good night. Enjoy the game. Get in there and kick some ass. And we'll have another video out soon. All right. Later.